Hello and welcome, I'm Oleksandra and you're watching Head to Head with UATV. Abduction and illegal arrests of Ukrainians have become a systematic crime of the Russian Federation and Crimean occupational authorities. At least 70 Ukrainians are being held illegally behind bars on fabricated charges. To talk more about the efforts to rescue prisoners of the Kremlin, we are joined in the studio today by Oleksandra Romantsova, Executive Director at the Center for Civil Liberties. Hello and thank you for being with us today.
Hello.
So, looking back at this year, 2018, I would like to ask you to assess the role of, first of all, Ukrainian government and parliamentarians, second of all, of our diplomacy. How strong has it been in keeping the negotiations and making them somehow productive? Third, civil society, and fourth, the international community, their efforts in order to release our prisoners. So let's start with the Ukrainian government and parliamentarians, please.
First of all, I want to say that our parliaments and our diplomacy trying to keep this information in the high level. I mean, information about our political prisoners, and why it's so important, because only international pressure can do something in this case. Now it's more than 70 cases of political prisoners, and it's 24 people, our sailors,
yes.
who keep war. Yeah, prisoners of war, first of all, and we need to remember that it's, we don't know how many, sure, but it's hostages in the territory of, non-controlled territory of Donbass. So we need to understand it's not only tell about Sentsov, so important that now Ukrainian government tell about all of them and do that more professional, because before that they just tell that it's our hostages, that's all. But hostages
what is more
of crime,
professional about their
more
work
professional
now?
When you understand that it's different cases, political persecution, war crimes, and hostages in the so-called LNR, LPR, DPR, it's different categories. So in the international level, it's really important to say about them like a different category, and showing that Russian aggression, it's really systematic and different trends like forces level. So it's really important to understand that it's different case with different category, and so we need to react in the different level.
Are these cases in people abduction and thus war crimes and crimes against humanity, are they in the international courts?
It's not all of them, because it's really important. In international criminal courts, we have cases about people which we have evidence. So they was free of was liberated from hostage or something like this. So, but it's more than 4,000 people, so we have enough cases about that, and they go into the international criminal courts like systematic big cases with huge number of episodes. But if we will speak about our political prisoners in the Russian Federation, it's not war crimes. It's a political persecutions in the international level. It's human rights violation, and now. If we will speak about different results in the international level, first time, I think it's a long period, resolution of General Assembly of UN have names. It's 3 names from our all political prisoners. It's Hussein Emir Kuku, it's Oleksandra and Baloch Vladimir. It's really important because it's unusual. UN never in their resolution put the like specific names.
Specific names.
Yeah. Usually they spoke about whole tendency and whole situation. And it's second resolution, like by the 2 weeks, I think, about Crimea. So it's a result of our whole complex active action, not only our diplomacy, not only our government, but first of all simple people who did global action. We started special action when Hungary strike of Oleksandra started in the summer. We create campaign, international advocacy campaign, which called Save Oleksandra, and it's joined more than 35 countries. It's simple people who
this is a civil society that roots for.
It's even not NGOs. It's just a simple people who just
regular people.
Yeah, they just wrote us. So what can I do? Please tell me how I can be useful. And
they don't want to stand aside.
Yeah, it's really important showing that this topic, sure, it's a hard topic, it's an unpleasant topic, because nobody likes long period of time look at some problems. But it's still how it's hard for us, but how it's hard for them, for people who sitting in the Russian jail without normal at all, I don't know, information, without normal medicine help, without normal food, without normal normal, I don't know, relationship with administrative of jail, because they always trying to put them, like Kolchenko, who's sitting in the I'm not sure, karcer, it's like...
He has been just transferred to the isolation ward, yes, for this New Year's and Christmas holidays.
It's like best present for New Year's. Or like administrative don't give the possibility to see for relatives, see our political prisoners, like Sushenko, first time their relatives have a permission.
And yes. And others. But, okay, you assessed the civil society, regular people. Let's talk about the international community. You mentioned the UN General Assembly resolution, which has crucial importance for Ukraine. Still, maybe there are some more arguments. What was the attention from the international community in the regard of the question of political prisoners of the Kremlin?
It's Council of Europe for us. It's usual place where we spoke about that. It even same about our diplomacy representatives and our deputy who represent Ukraine in Council of Europe. They every time spoken about. And now in January we will have a new winter session of Parliament Assembly of Council of Europe, and they will few event there about our political prisoners, because it's topic which you need to speak about every time. But if we will speak about possibles and some I don't know, new discussion level, it's really important that our political prisoners, our hostages in the Donbass, our crime hostages, our Crimean hostages, our soldiers, it's really topic for Minsk agreement and Minsk discussion.
Minsk negotiations. Yeah, so my question would be why the recent Minsk negotiation basically failed, because there was maybe some I don't know, they agreed on the truce for the New Year's holiday, but we don't know yet is this truce going to be observed and adhered to. But the case of the prisoner exchange failed. Russia and Russian-led militants, they refused to respond to our request.
It's because we're trying to speak with Russia with like in the human level. We're trying to propose them, okay, we have Russian citizens who are sitting in our jail, please. Let's change. But they don't interested in the people at all. They interesting only, I think, only some economic interest. It's really important, like point of view for them. They don't interested about human rights. They don't interested about rights of their citizens. They interesting only about economic.
So what is the way to convince Russia for the next prisoners exchange? What language should we speak to them?
I think
this is the conclusion of our conversation, because we're running out of time.
It can be like. It can be just one decision, but I think it's few level. In the public level, it can be about change of people, but in the underground level, it needs to be about some economic interesting, about, I don't know, Patok or something like this.
Whom do we need to talk to?
With Putin only.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your interesting comments, and thank you for being a guest today in our studio.
Thank you.
That was Oleksandra Romantsova, Executive Director at the Center for Civil Liberties. Thank you for watching Head to Head. I'm Oles Gajjuk. Goodbye.